A nation divided, the birth of apartheid. South Africa, a land of beauty, of natural wonder, but also a land scarred by a dark history. This is the story of apartheid, a system designed to oppress and divide. From 1948, the National Party in South Africa enforced a brutal regime. Black people were stripped of their rights, treated as less than human. This wasn't about segregation, it was about control. The aim? To keep white South Africans in power, to exploit the black population, to create a society where one group thrived at the expense of another. Living in the shadows, the daily reality of apartheid. Imagine a world where your skin color dictates your worth, where you are denied basic freedoms simply because of who you are. This was the reality for millions under apartheid. Black South Africans were confined to townships, overcrowded and neglected. They endured inferior education, healthcare and job opportunities. Their movement was restricted by the hated pass laws. Every aspect of life was controlled, designed to break their spirits, to make them feel powerless, to crush any hope of a better future. The message was clear: know your place. You are a second-class citizen in your own land. Tools of oppression, segregation and its enforcers. Apartheid was a system meticulously crafted, brutally enforced. It relied on a web of laws, policies and institutions designed to maintain racial separation and control. Signs declared whites-only areas, relegating black South Africans to inferior facilities and services. The notorious pass laws restricted their movement, making them prisoners in their own country. The police and military became instruments of oppression. They enforced unjust laws with violence. They intimidated, harassed and silenced any dissent. Fear became a way of life. Speaking out against the regime had dire consequences. Many were imprisoned, tortured or disappeared without a trace. Section 4. A system built on lies, corruption and inequality. Apartheid thrived on a foundation of lies. The government claimed it was protecting white South Africans, preserving their way of life. In reality, it was about power and greed. The white minority benefited from the exploitation of black labor. They controlled the economy, the land, the resources. Meanwhile, black South Africans were denied economic opportunities, trapped in a cycle of poverty. The system bred corruption. Those in power enriched themselves at the expense of the majority. They justified their actions with racist propaganda, dehumanizing black South Africans. Apartheid was a moral abomination. It was a stain on South Africa's soul, a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked prejudice and discrimination. Section 5. A flawed peace. Mandela's controversial decision, Nelson Mandela, a symbol of hope, of resistance. After 27 years in prison, he emerged to lead South Africa out of the darkness of apartheid. But his path to peace was not without controversy. Mandela chose reconciliation over retribution. He negotiated with the very regime that had imprisoned him, seeking a peaceful transition to democracy. Some saw it as a betrayal, a sellout to the oppressors. They argued that true justice required holding the architects of apartheid accountable for their crimes. They felt that Mandela had given up too much, that the wounds of the past ran too deep for forgiveness. The debate over Mandela's legacy continues to this day. Did he achieve a true victory, or did he sacrifice justice for the sake of peace? The answer, like the history of apartheid itself, is complex and multifaceted.